Welcome to another episode of The Unexpected Detour. Where in life detours are inevitable. I am your host, Frances Hammond, and today I have back my awesome guest, Bill C.Potts, who was up for the fight. The fight still continues, but he is here with us to tell us where he is within his fight, and I am most gracious to have him back. And Bill, how have you been?
Francis, I am the luckiest guy I know. I've been doing really well. So I've been back to Mayo. My lymphoma is still in remission. My immune system's not firing on all cylinders, so I still have to be careful around sick people, things like that. The prostate cancer is acting a little bit unusual, but I'll be back there in a few months, and we're really not worried about it. It's something that we'll mostly just watch and wait. So no, I'm doing great. I'm feeling good. I'm exercising like a wild man, playing a lot of tennis. I just retired October 31st, so I'm trying to enjoy,
Congratulations.
thank you, trying to enjoy time with my wife and trying to socialize more. My kids are coming home for the holidays, so I'm excited about that. And I think since I was on before, my perspective has even become more clear relative to the book. I had been doing some consulting in the healthcare space, particularly in the regards to cancer care. I was doing work for a company called Synergy Home Care, which provides in-home services for people, including cancer patients. So I was helping them on that. I'm doing a lot of talking with and coaching and mentoring cancer patients and their families. So since I spoke with you last, I've become accidentally an expert on pancreatic cancer, lung cancer, breast cancer, because I speak with a lot of patients. And so what I'm finding is that because of the book and my easy accessibility because of the book, I'm hearing from a lot of people. So I am learning every day about their journey, and they're teaching me and they're inspiring me. I'm speaking with one patient that's looking at her about to go through a very advanced blood cancer treatment that is pretty new. And so I said, look, I know all about it. This is maybe on the table for me in the future. Could you teach me as you go? So Francis, now I'm the benefactor of other people's knowledge on cancer. And for that, I'm very grateful. And I think too that since we spoke the last time, my focus and my purpose has become even clearer, which is to help others through my journey. And my perspective now is pretty clear that each day that I live is a bonus day. So now, particularly that I'm not working as much, it's pretty clear to me to try to find joy in each day.
That's your calling to help everybody. I noticed the same thing that with the breast cancer, you
Mm,
become more in tune to that word cancer.
yeah,
And I always try to ask everybody, how do you think this all came about?
yeah.
And they'll say it's the environment. So do you agree the environment has a lot to do with it?
That's 100%. It's a lot of things. For sure, diet is can impact multiple cancers. I'm not sure about breast cancer, but it could.
It does. It's the same for breast
Yeah,
cancer.
so diet, exercise, the environment, processed foods, what you're breathing in. My particular thyroid cancer, then lymphoma, was likely caused by radiation. I'd worked in the Department of Nuclear Medicine in college, got lit up pretty good when standards were pretty loose. And then I got treated with radiation for the thyroid cancer, and that's likely the reason I have the lymphoma. The prostate cancer, it's hard to say. It could just be an age thing, or it could be because I got lit up. So, yeah, the environment is a huge factor. Things like smoking for lung cancer, vaping for lung cancer, these are all things that I'm now ultra aware of, with my friends and family so that I can kind of coach them because, as you know, getting cancer, it's a drag. And anything we can do to prevent it, we should.
It's a drag, but I think we become more of an advocate for the disease. And that's why I wanted you back because you're my hero
Oh,
because of what you went through. And
oh,
I try to encourage people to read your book. And I want you to know you have 3,000 reviews on Amazon of your
oh.
book.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and I said the only person I know I could really talk about it with is you because
Mm.
you understand the fact that there is no cure
Yeah.
and that people say they're cancer free. And the reality is you're never really free from it because it can always come back. And you have done well. Even though you had five different types, you surpassed everything.
Mm.
Everything. I try to remember, what were you, the triathlon, right? That's it?
Yeah, Ironman athlete,
Yeah,
triathlon, yeah.
that's because I told somebody at work, I was like, you should meet Bill C.Potts. He
Oh,
was a triathlon, yes. So you've been encouraging other people as well,
oh.
as
That's
far as with cancer.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that's nice. It really it's nice to hear, and you go all the way back to how this purpose started with Pastor Tanya, coaching me when I had an emotional breakdown on September 17th, 2020, when I woke up with the breakdown after having surgery to remove a tumor below my right hip. And she coached me to remember all the reasons why that I should continue my fight because I gave up. And she's like, no, 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 no. You can't give up. And let's come up with the reasons why you shouldn't give up. And it was a miracle, really changing my heart. But fight for my family, fight for my friends. Back then, fight for my meaningful work, and now fight for my meaningful work. It's just not getting paid for it to help other patients, and then to fight to make God proud. And that comment at the end of it all, where she said, "Hey, Bill, turn your pain into purpose and write a book to help others," it changed the trajectory of my life in a way that I never would have expected. And so, I mean, I know who's running the running point on this, and it's not me. When a pastor tells you to do something and you commit to doing it, you better do it. And my life has been blessed in so many ways because of my cancer.
And that's why I said you're still around to tell your story.
Hmm.
And I'm sure your wife is very glad that, you're still here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting because she's been through so much, and she owned a business and we sold it, so we're both not working so much, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
been such a pleasure to spend time with her. So we're still adapting like anybody does when all of a sudden you're together all the time. But mostly I just love being with her and she loves being with me, and we're trying to spend that time together because for me, if for any cancer patient, you don't know when it's going to come back. And so I call it the go-go years. And then I could move into the slow go or no go literally tomorrow morning. I don't know. I could look and see a tumor back and my life would be turned upside down again because I've been there so many times. So it really, Francis, as the battle affected you, you try to live in the present and try not to sweat the small stuff so much.
Yeah, but again, at times I know it gets hard because I said sometimes the mind,
Mm.
you think about it, but then you find your purpose in trying to help other people, and that's what you did for me. And
Oh,
that's why I said when we talked about remission,
mm,
it it made me it solidified the fact that I'm not the only one that knows that we go into remission. We are
mm.
never cured from this. And that's why I said, Bill, that's my hero. I'm,
Oh,
I brag about you all the time. I'm telling you.
oh, that means a lot because
When
you're,
I say I brag, I tell people if you go to my podcast, listen to Bill C.
oh,
You will
wow.
be encouraged by his story.
Well, your positivity is and getting to know you has been another one of those blessings that you don't expect.
Yeah,
Uh,
you was
once you,
likewise. You was the same here, the same here. Because I do a podcast, and that's why I said, I wanted to bring awareness, not just to breast cancer, but to cancer.
mm,
And you were one of the ones that made me know that, there is life after all of this.
yeah,
Even though you go into your immune system might shut down and everything. And I explained to you before, my mother, she had lymphoma,
mm,
but she never had a chance. And that's why I asked you when you said you worked with radiation back in the day in the hospital, they used to have these little badges on them.
yes, yes,
and it would tell you how much radiation you were exposed to. So did you have that too, those badges?
No, the staff around me, the full-time staff had them, and I was
Oh,
part-timer, and so I worked in the summers, and I didn't have one of those badges, and so they know how much they got lit up, and they did because I was there 3 months and got it pretty good. So I can't imagine what their badges were telling them. But that hospital subsequently closed. So yeah, it's hindsight's 2020, but back when I was in college, I wasn't thinking about radiation, nor when I was 42 when I was taking that radioactive iodine 131 pill to try to fight the thyroid cancer. I never even thought about the side effects from that and would that cause a second or third cancer. I had no idea.
oh,
And
they have pills that are radioactive?
yeah, it was interesting, Francis. So for the thyroid cancer, this became debatable later when I got a second opinion after 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 that local for-profit oncologist told me my thyroid cancer was back and it didn't make any sense because it had been surgically removed. But yeah, so one of the treatments is you get a radiation pill. It comes in this big giant lead container and the doctor brings it in and I'm in the hospital and then I'm isolated after I take that pill for a number of days. Anything I touch gets burned. Anything I wear gets burned, and then I
Oh,
can't see anybody do anything until they measure me with a Geiger counter.
really?
And so once I was legally able to leave the hospital, I did. I couldn't see my kids for a couple of weeks because I was still, quote, hot. So I don't know how often that treatment is still used. I think it is, but the dose I got was extraordinarily high. And it's the mistake I made early in my journey, which still may cost me my life, which is not to get a second opinion on my first cancer before I
Oh,
went through the surgery and before I went through that radiation. And when I finally got that second opinion, after they diagnosed my cancer being back for the thyroid, which was wrong, MD Anderson's like, "Ooh, Bill, you got lit up, dude," and
oh,
that was
okay.
a lot. And matter of fact, I'm not sure we would have even taken out your whole thyroid. So, I mean, missing a thyroid, my life's not too much different, except that I have to take a pill every morning for my missing one. But I'm not the same person without my thyroid as I was before because natural hormones are a lot better than synthetic ones. So I'm just a little bit different than I was before.
Right. But I noticed this time you are more comfortable talking about your journey. Before it was hard, that last interview.
Yeah.
And I think that was because you were still in that isolation, because I remember you were isolated, just you and Pippa.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
goodness for Pippa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a couple years. It was some pretty tough times. And so I learned to adapt but I had no immune system and it took forever to come back and it came back. It's still not great, but it's great enough that I went to a wedding. I've
Oh,
been
wow.
I've been on airplanes.
Oh,
I went to a sporting event. My son lives in Boston and I'm trying to create memories. And so
be an Iron Man too, like you?
he is Ironman. Yeah, he's a triathlete. He did Ironman, a couple
Really?
Ironman 70.3. Yeah, he's the real deal. And so
Oh,
we went to a Boston Celtics playoff game in the finals, the NBA finals, and this is last September, and we're in the arena, 17,000 people. We're waiting in line to go to the bathroom at halftime, and he looks at me and goes, "Dad, are you okay with all these people?" I'm like, "Hey, at this point, I'm in. So let's just
that's
enjoy the
great.
game and not worry
That
about."
was good.
Then I went to the most amazing wedding in Midland, Texas, and getting on airplanes and a 630 people wedding. And I wouldn't say I'm 100% relaxed around those types of crowds, but I'm comfortable because I'm like, look, I've got the plan. I've had COVID a couple times now, and my doctors have a plan. I take this drug called Paxlovid, and it'll save me. And so
Okay.
I'm trying to, Francis, I'm trying to live life a little bit more because I
You
spent a
gotta
couple.
live life without regrets.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
and my daughter Sarah's been particularly good about she's been really good about, nudging me along and my wife too to get me out of the house and to
And
get me
that
to
was your daughter that wanted you to get in the car the last time and you wouldn't go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Good memory.
Got in the car though, right? When you wanted to get the gas, remember?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. She got you in the car, but no, 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 no.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. At least your family is working with you, and now everybody is at ease, I'm sure. But I'm
Yeah,
sure
pretty
they,
much at ease. Yeah. I mean, I still make sure everybody's vaccinated, everybody's healthy when they come home. They're very aware of that. We still have this air purification system installed in our house that they use in hospitals called Rummy Halo to kill viruses and germs. And so we're still cautious. That's kind of our new normal. And
okay.
my wife cracks up. We were at a restaurant. We were at a restaurant last week, and we left the restaurant. I'm like, oh, I wish those sick people just would stay home. She goes, what do you mean the sick people? How do you notice all the sick people? And Francis, I can walk into a room of 500 people and I can tell you within 1 minute who's sick and who's not sick. You just have that radar, right? Because it's pretty important
Yes, yeah.
that
'Cause
I
I might sit
protect
next to
myself.
somebody and I'm like, please don't cough this way.
Yeah, exactly.
And I
Exactly.
always tell him, do me a favor, cough someplace else, please. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to catch nothing.
And how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing, but this is 7 years for me
Um,
in remission.
that's
Um,
congrats. Hey, lucky
yeah,
seven. That's awesome.
yeah, 7 years, I guess. Well, I had got what 2017, so this is 2024.
Mm,
So I'm in remission, and I just do my podcast. I've been kind of lazy after I wrote that book,
mm.
the book that I mailed you.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I
You
remember.
know, about my alopecia and the breast cancer. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
lazy, so I have to get myself motivated again. And then sometimes I would hit like a low point, but I have to pick myself up, and
yeah,
thank
yeah.
God that I'm around to tell this story. And I find it's very important that we as cancer survivors tell these stories because it might save somebody else's life. I go to, well, the last time I went to Sloan Kettering, I had a conversation with a little old lady.
Mm.
And she was more intrigued with the scarf on my head than anything else.
That's a good looking scarf.
Thank you. She was going for treatment and she was talking to me, and I was encouraging her, that she
Mm,
was going to be okay. So I think that's the purpose of what we're here for, to encourage others that they're going to be okay. And I think your mindset has a lot to do with it. You have to change your mindset and be positive. So that's how I've been doing. I
well,
changed my
that's great.
mindset. I've removed negativity from my life. And if you're negative around me, I don't want to be bothered.
I agree with you because it sucks the energy out of you when you're around a
Yeah,
negative person, and I see this I see this often, and I see it with a lot of people, but particularly those that are like in assisted living or independent living. I'd say 90% of the people there probably have pretty good attitudes, but the 10% that don't, that are the negative,
yeah,
Nellies or whatever, it affects those that are around them. People don't want to be around them. In my journey of my cancer battle, my positive attitude really creates a positive attitude with my care team, and they want to be around you and they want to help you. And a negative attitude isn't going to help anybody. And they found that research, if you like for these old folks, if they did 2 minutes a day of gratitude work, that over a period of weeks, they could change their mind and start being more positive than negative. So it's fixable.
yeah. That's why it's the mindset. And I'm
Mm,
finding that out with life, period.
mm.
Your mindset. You have to change the way you think in order to fix what was broken. You fix your mindset and it works out. You're gonna do another book, Bill?
Boy, that's a great question.
I think you should.
It's possible, and in what I'm finding as I evolve, uh, since the book's been out a couple years, and book sales are going great, by the way. So, but
Yeah,
what I
I
found
told
is
that's
that,
why I looked. I said, wow, he's doing great with his book. Yeah.
thank you. What I've determined is that there's so much that I've learned because of the cancer that I'm starting to share on podcasts and with people that was touched on in the book, but not a big part of the book. For example, there's a page or two on diet but I could literally write a whole book just on diet. But the question I have, Francis, and I don't know how you are, but I don't want to be defined as the cancer guy, but because of the book, I kind of am, particularly in this world, and I don't mind that. So I struggle sometimes if I get asked to do public speaking or whatever. A lot of times I don't want to do it. I'm happy to talk with you one on one. It's really easy, right? And
Right.
I know you, you're awesome. But if I did this maybe 5 months ago, I was on a stage in front of like 500 people and it's me and facing them. I'm like, wow, that's pretty vulnerable to be that vulnerable
Yeah.
in front of that many people. And then I'm always drained from it. So I'm trying to figure out if I did another book, what would be the topic? And if you have any ideas, I'm open.
Yeah, I have some ideas. I want you to talk about what you're doing to help the cancer community.
Oh boy, I think that's probably the good answer. You can't believe the stories that I
That's
have.
what you have to talk about that to encourage those that are, going through this. They
Yeah,
they
that's
really need you in their life to encourage them that it's not the end.
yeah.
There's always that rainbow. And that's why I said the mindset has a lot to do with it. You have
Yeah.
to change it,
Yeah.
but you've changed. You helped me through mine because with the remission, I had a hard time dealing with it.
Mm,
And that discussion that we had in the first interview, it helped me feel at ease knowing that I was not alone when it
mm,
came to remission and what it really meant.
mm,
I know what it really meant, but other people, they didn't understand.
mm.
So I felt that's why I said, I don't call you the cancer guy. I call you my friend, Bill C.Potts. That's
Back at you. Back at you. You were
that's what I call you. I never refer to you. I always call you the Iron Man, but I
uh,
couldn't remember what it was. So I'm telling somebody at work, I'm like, he did that, what is it? The triathlon. He's the Iron Man. So I made them look you up.
thank you. Yeah, that was quite the day. And to be able to finish Ironman Texas, that was a 2.4 mile swim, 112-mile bike ride, then a marathon back to back to back. Took me 13 hours and 41 minutes. But I did that to try to inspire my kids that no matter what happens, it's just 3 years after stage three lymphoma treatment, that no matter what, if you apply your mind to it and you work really hard, you can achieve great things. And the surprising part about that was my MD Anderson team came to watch me finish because obviously without them I wouldn't be doing it, and so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why I always tell people I mean, I just told one of my friends she has breast cancer. I said, this is my friend I'm interviewing and I'm so excited. And she
Mm.
was like, wow. I said, yeah, that's my friend.
Well,
Mhm.
if you want me to talk to any of your friends that are going through the journey, I'm happy to do
Well,
that.
they're the breast cancer women and I have a thing and they're all Black women and I call it the resilience of Black women confronting breast cancer.
Mm,
And they talk about their stages. One is in palliative care,
mm,
and that one is, she's like you. She's a fighter. She's not giving up.
mm,
She's still doing what she has to do. But the rest of them, I think that the podcast is helping them
mm.
to discuss what they're going through. So yes, I brag about you and I
Uh,
always tell them, you want to see somebody that fights and fought and is still kicking, you have to meet Bill C.Potts. He was up for that fight and the fight continues. And that's how I tell them. And everybody is in awe. They're like, wow. I said, yes, five
yeah,
times and he's still here. And
yeah,
that's because he didn't give up, but you're giving up and he didn't. So I let them know. That's why I share your story all the time because it
thank you.
amazes me. And I said, this is what happens when you have faith too.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Faith is,
God is at the center.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
true. And
Yes,
another coping mechanism that we didn't talk about the first time, which has been really helping me, because my cancer is not curable, so the likelihood of it coming back on the lymphoma side is it's not 100%, but it's pretty high. And
right.
so that's a pretty big burden emotionally and mentally to deal with. And so the way I approach that to deal with that fact, that like you can kind of see the future a little bit, in my particular case, is that all I can do every day is do everything I can do uh, to prepare me for when it comes back and to prevent it when it comes back. So if I do that, which for me it's diet, it's exercise, meditation, prayer, socialization, time outside, grounding, vitamin D therapy with the sun, I do this is kind of my routine. And if I do that every day, that is all I can do. So
Right.
what happens, it happens, but I can be prepared for it so that when I'm going through treatment, the next time if that happens, that my heart's healthy, that it's in good shape, that I've eaten the berries and the fruits and the antioxidants to try to boost my immune system the best I can going into it, and that's what gives me some peace in the midst of that issue that I have to look at every day, and it's really helped me not to be thinking about the future so much, but just to live in the present and be ready for the future, but not obsess about it.
What do you think about holistic medicine?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So I'm a
Oh,
big believer in a kind of a combination deal. I'm modern medicine and holistic medicine kind of combined. So, I have infrared UV light therapy that I do. I spoke with folks about oxygen therapy where you go into one of those chambers. Didn't do it. Mayo
oh,
Mayo didn't want me to do it because I have active cancer with the prostate cancer. They were concerned about
oh, okay.
that. Deep breathing, meditation, diet. Yeah, I'll take any edge I can get. So I'm good with the holistic side. I mean, I call that it's complementary to the modern medical care that I get, and I review that with my care team, and they're like, yeah, go for it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pretty stingy on the supplement side, and I did meet with a doctor on the nutritional supplement side, and I was doing some liquid supplements to try to boost everything, but I decided to try just to lean in and try to get those supplements on diet
Okay. So
because
instead of taking the pills, you rather use the food for it, or you still take like supplements too.
no, yeah, I don't. I did. I stopped probably a year ago and said, I'm just going to lean into the food stuff for a lot of reasons, regulations, cleanliness of it, all those types of things and supplements that you could take and potential side effects from it. And I just want to try to go as natural as I can. There are natural supplements, but
Oh, okay.
I'm just super careful. But deep breathing, infrared UV therapy. At some point, I'll probably do in the chamber oxygen therapy because it can help you heal. Um, all those. I mean, literally taking my shoes off every day. Not now, it's thundering, but it's going to rain today. But
Yeah, it's raining here too.
yeah, go outside and put my bare feet on the ground and sit on the ground and just
Oh,
soak
okay.
up the earth. It
I
helps
think
me.
you're in the sunshine. You're in the sunshine state, so you get a lot of sunshine. So
Yeah,
you get a lot of vitamin D.
I do, and I'm careful because I don't want to get sunburned or whatever. So it's 10 or 15 minutes outside and just soaking it up and listening to the birds and hear the neighbors playing in their backyards. And Pip is always with me. She, for some reason, is a dog
That's
with a
your
lot of
girl. That's Pippa.
like Mocha's with you, right?
Yeah, she's sitting somewhere around her. She's
Yeah,
probably
Pippa's
underneath the table.
yeah. So yeah, and also
Hangs around.
Pippa's a big part of my therapy, and was even more so when I was isolated because she was my buddy. And she still is, still follows me everywhere. But petting her, taking her out, loving her is
And she knows when you don't feel good too, I'm sure.
she does. And so I even put that in the book. If you can have a pet and you can deal with a pet, it's a great thing to have going
Yeah,
through the
that's why I
journey.
said now you have to do a book about how your journey has affected others and encouraged them.
Yeah. Huh.
Because that would be a good book.
Yeah.
You
It would
know, the fight continues with others.
be.
You know, you've encouraged other people. I'm sure. I told you I gave your book to my oncologist.
Yeah.
Even though I was disappointed I wouldn't see her again
Mm.
because nobody told me I was in this survivorship program.
Um,
And I went to make a phone call and I was like, I'm not seeing the Dr. Sanford anymore. They were like, no, you're in the survivorship program. I was like, well, nobody told me. So I was like, okay. So
yeah.
I'm not in I'm in the survivorship program.
Yeah.
But that was an awesome step. Even though I still go to the same place and I'll
Mm.
be there because they let you know you're theirs forever.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, that's where you go forever. So, but it was nice to know that I had reached that 5 year thing. And that's why after 5 years, I was like, I'm not seeing the doctor anymore. And they were like,
Mm.
no, do you want to see her? I was like, yeah. They were like, you only see it if you have cancer. If you're active. I was like,
Mm.
okay, I'm good. I can stay
Yeah.
where I am. Yeah. I don't want to
Yeah.
be active again. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the person you don't want to see again then.
Yeah, yeah. Even though I love her to death, I was
Yes.
like, no, 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 no. Even the breast surgeon, I was like, I don't see you anymore. He was like, no.
Mm.
I was like, oh, okay. So I did send them my book though, but I did give the oncologist your book
Thank you.
because she's young and I think she needed to read that book
Good. Well,
so
thank you.
she can see that, even though she's a breast surgeon, she does oncology for the women, the breast. It's still good to expand your horizons around other types of cancer, which she does. So yeah, so I'm telling you, I talk about you every day.
Mm. Well,
Whenever I want to talk about something, I tell them you should read his book. When I
I've
tell
got
them that 5 times, they were like, "What? 5?" I said, "Yes. God
maybe,
is a miracle worker." Okay.
that's true. Maybe I should write another book once I get to seven.
Yeah.
Seven's a good number.
No, but don't. No, we don't want you to get to 7. We want you
It's
to
a,
stay right here. 5.
yeah, yeah. My lucky number is 93, and
Oh,
my doctors at MD Anderson committed to get me to age 93.
oh, okay.
My mom just turned 93. Go figure. So
Really?
yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
I know, and part of this reconnecting with my purpose and recalibrating my priorities. I talk to her every day. She lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and
Oh, okay.
I love talking to her. I have to let her know if I'm not going to call her so she doesn't worry. And it's
Right.
the sweetest. But at 93, she is the definition of how to age well. She walks every day, reads 3 books a week.
Wow.
She called me the other day and she wanted to talk about some company, Nvidia or something. Hey, can you coach me on? I'm like, wow, like how do you know all this stuff? She goes, I read the Wall Street Journal, and so it's pretty cool. So I have a really good example on how to live my life by watching her. Her
By your
faith,
mom,
my
yeah.
mom, her faith is super strong, and she was a dietitian, so you can imagine her diet's pretty clean and
Oh, so she's healthy.
yeah, super healthy, which is just amazing at that
Probably
age.
doesn't eat junk food and all of
No,
those things.
no,
No.
no. She does like Bluebell ice cream. So, but she limits it.
Right. She
Yes.
has a limitation on what she's gonna eat, and
Yes.
she's not like me when it comes to candy. I was really obsessed with candy. Those gummy candies.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're so good.
Yeah. And then they put me on Wegovy.
Oh yeah. 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 Well, now I eat like for my snacks, I eat dark chocolate covered almonds.
Yeah, that's what I've been eating, but I've been going to get the dark chocolate covered pretzels to eat. But they're
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is bad. Because when I go in the store, the lady is like, I know what you want. You want those dark covered chocolate
Ah,
pretzels.
love that they know you. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, they know me. I'm there all the time. So they're like, and it's like a specialty store.
Yeah.
So they sell everything, but they have a candy place there. And
That
I'm
sounds so
right,
good.
yeah, and I'm right there for the dog. I was looking yesterday. I said, do I want them? I said, nah, let me be good today. So I'll be there Friday for them though. Yeah, yeah.
Sounds
So
good.
yeah, but I thank you so much for coming back.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me.
I've been wanting this because I tried to email you at that old email.
Oh yeah, yeah. Close that. Yeah, close that agency. It's a part of mine.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what it was.
yeah. I
So
had
I
I'm a
found you
marketing.
on LinkedIn and I
Yeah,
said, let me send a message there. Oh,
yeah,
that was your agency that I was
yeah. That's gone now. So no, thanks for finding me. And part of what I try to do is for those folks that I love, I tell them. So love you, Francis.
I love you too, Bill, and I thank you so much. And I wish you all the best, the health,
Thank you.
and in another year we'll be having another conversation about the
I look forward
write
to it.
that other book.
I look forward to it,
Yeah,
Francis.
I want you to start writing. I'm serious. Start writing a journal about all these people you
Should do
encounter.
that. I should do that.
Yeah, all
I
the
will.
stories.
I'll start writing the journal. I don't know about the book yet.
No, but journal
Yeah.
about all their stories and how your story has impacted them. Because I'm sure they tell you your story has impacted me in a way I never thought possible.
Yeah, it's true. True.
I'm telling you. And then after that, then you can turn the journal into the book. Or just make like little chapters,
Sure.
about these people with no names in it. Because everybody doesn't want their name in the book. And
Sure.
just talk about it. Yeah.
Well, thank you for
And
that
you could
advice.
put my name in there too. You could put my name in
100%.
there
Whoa. Whoa, did you
about
hear that?
how
Did you hear that
about
thunder?
no.
Oof.
Oh,
But no, sorry, it startled me.
uh,
Yeah, your name's in the book for sure because you're the
yes.
inspiration for the book. You actually would have to
Oh,
write the foreword for the book.
well, yes. Thank you, Bill. But have a happy holiday. Christmas
Yeah,
is
you too.
coming.
Yeah,
A
Merry
happy
Christmas.
New Year. But I'll message you through the emails.
You got it. And thanks for being you.
Okay, I love you, Bill, and
You
God
bet.
bless you.
Back
And
to you.
we'll talk again.
Look forward
All
to it.
right. Okay, bye. Okay, wait.